Okay, so we're going to finish up our Unit 4, Day 3 notes. So we're on the very back side of our notes for Unit 4, Day 3. We're talking about point slope form of a line, and we're just going to look at 3 problems. That's what we have left. So it's not even, it's 2 problems, but partial, multiple parts for each one. Number 6 says write the equation of the line that passes through these 2 points, 2, 3, and negative 6, 5 in slope-intercept form. So since I'm told what form, I want to remember the slope-intercept is this, y equals mx plus b. That's the form I need because there's my slope, there's my intercept. Okay, so I need a slope and I need an intercept. They gave me 2 points. So what I'm going to find first is my slope from those 2 points. So I'm going to say y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Y sub 2 minus y sub 1 there. It's going to be over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Okay, so my slope is 2 over negative 8, which I know is negative 1/4. That's my slope. I need to write in slope-intercept form, so I'm going to check. Was either one of these points the intercept? No, it's not, so I have to find my b value. So for me to find b, if I have y and m and x, I can solve this equation for b, right? So I'm going to choose an x and a y right here. I'm going to choose this first ordered pair. I now have an x and I have a y. Okay, I'm going to write it like this. Y equals 3. I already know m equals negative 1/4. And I'm going to say x equals 2. And b equals, I don't know. I'm going to find out. Now, if I write everything out as y equals mx plus b, it will look like this. 3 equals negative 1/4 times x plus b. I wrote my x in a strange way because I'm going to write that as a fraction so that I can multiply those 2 fractions together. 3 equals negative 2/4, which is negative 1/2, plus b. And now I'm going to add 1/2 to each side, so 3 and 1/2 equals b. 3 and 1/2 is the same thing as 7/2, so I can use either one of those. All right, and all I have to do is write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form that passes through those points. So I'm going to say y equals my m, which is negative 1/4, x plus b, and b is either 3 1/2 or 7/2. All right, the next problem says it costs $3.25 per day to place a 2-line ad in the classifieds, plus there's a flat service fee. 1 day costs $6.75, and 4 days costs $16.50. So the amount of money I spend depends on how many days I have this ad in, right? So the amount of money is the dependent variable, right? It's going to be the y, dependent. It depends on the amount of days. So number of days is independent. Days is independent. And I'm using that because I know that independent variable is my x variable and the dependent variable is my y variable. I'm doing that so that when I put ordered pairs down, I can make sense of the information I've been given. All right, 1 day costs $6.75. So independent variable is number of days. So 1 day costs $6.75. The other day is the other amount of time is 4 days, and that costs $16.50. Okay, I can find my slope here. I say $16.50 minus $6.75. $16.50 minus $6.75. It's going to be all over 4 minus 1. So in my numerator, I have $9.75, and denominator is 3. If I divide that, I get 3.25. So that's my slope, or my rate. All right. Now, it wants to know a linear equation that gives the cost in dollars in terms of the number of days. So we are trying to get there. I have m, my rate, right? So I can write an equation in point slope form if I want to, because I have a point. I have 2 points really, and I have a slope. So remember, that's y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. They just said write a linear equation. They don't say what format. So I'm going to just do that. I'm going to pick that first point. Y minus y sub 1, that's 675, equals my m, which is 325, times x minus my x sub 1 was right there. Okay, so that is an equation of the linear information that you get when you have those 2 points. Okay, so I'm going to just remind myself that's in point slope form, right? Okay, how much is the flat service fee? Well, if I want the flat service fee, I need to be thinking y equals mx plus b, right? The b amount is going to be my flat service fee. So I have a couple of different ways that I can do this. I'm going to go ahead and solve for b. So I'm going to use my x and my y and my slope of 325. And I'm going to plug all of that in. My y value is 675. That equals m, which is 325, times x, which is 1, plus b. Okay, so I'm going to say 675 minus 325, and I get 350, right? B equals 350. All right. Now I want to find the cost of a 7-day ad. So if the amount of days it's in is 7, then I know x equals 7. So I can use either of these equations. Well, I only have one equation written here, sorry. Point slope is there. If I want to write as my y equals mx plus b format, y equals, my slope is 325, 3.25, times x plus, I now know b, 350, right? So this is the same information, but this is in slope intercept. Okay, so I'm going to choose this one. This one seems like it's easier, but actually either way, I would get the same answer. So I'm going to say y equals 3.25 times 7 days plus 350. And when I do that on a calculator, I get y equals 2625. If I wanted to do it in the point slope form, I have my x sub 1 and my y sub 1. I'm just going to choose that first point again. I would have y minus 675 equals m, which is 325, times x minus x sub 1, which is 1. Okay, so I have to simplify over here. I have y minus 675 equals 3.25x minus 3.25. I just distributed. I'm going to add 675 to each side. Y equals 3.25x. I'm going to add 675, so I get plus 350. And they told me my x is 7. And when I plug in 7, you can see it's exactly this math, 325 times 7, and then plus 350. Oh my goodness, you couldn't quite see all of my numbers. I'm so sorry. Okay, I just solved using my slope-intercept form. I plugged in x equals 7 and got 2625 as my amount. And then I used my point slope form here, y minus 675 equals 3.25 times x minus 1. But I plugged in the x and y that I knew. And when I simplified, I came up with my same equation, which is my slope-intercept form. And I knew that I could plug in that 7. So, okay. Good luck, and you probably have homework in math space.